Stephen Jules Radio Show.
Hello. What's going on, Wisdomers? I'm back. Yeah, what's going on, everyone? It's Thursday, the 1st of February, as I'm recording this show. Ended up getting a acoustic guitar yesterday from Guitar World in Campbelltown. They did a fantastic job. The service was amazing, and it's a beautiful instrument. I've just been recording some stock music with acoustic guitar. I'm in the process. I will end up writing a meditation track for Insight Timer and on YouTube, but I want to thank Guitar World for their amazing service yesterday. It was great. It was really good to get a new instrument. It's just nice. Ended up getting me tickets for the cricket on Sunday, Australia versus the West Indies, so I'll be going to watch that. And that should be good. Hopefully the weather's nice, because I like it when the weather is nice for the cricket. Just to get out and about. But today's a new day. Weather's also to the weather as well. It's been just muggy the last couple of days as well. We had a couple of nights where it's just humid, but it's nice now. Hopefully it's going to be cooler today. That'll be good. But these tax cuts in Australia has Albo kept his word and kept his promise on tax cuts. Now, I said it before that Australia pays way too much in taxes. We're probably one of almost the highest taxed country in the world. Now, yes, tax is a part of life, because every time you buy coffee or food in the shopping centre, your pharmaceuticals, that's all taxed, because you are paying GST. So even people who aren't working are still paying tax, goods and services tax, the 10% GST, petrol, everything. Unfortunately, it is a part of life, but I've said it before, and I've ranted that, we've had the cost of living crisis now. This is in the second year, the inflation, or we're probably living in the time of Gough Whitlam, Paul Keating, when houses interest rates were at 17%. But just your everyday household items, became a rip-off for Australians out there who, I guess, are doing it tough. Now, someone who's on, say, $1 million a year salary and up, okay. they can go out and for them no problem, but for middle and low income earners, which I primarily am talking about, are in a different category, because you get the gist of what I'm saying. When I say things are overpriced now, like, it's weird, like TVs and electronics it's cheaper, but it just, your basic utilities and all that going up. Now, I think tax cuts would be great. Um, Again, as soon as the Labor government took over, Albo took over, it's when the cost of living crisis started. You got to understand too, supply and demand as well. When there's very short supply, they put the prices up, and everything, pharmaceuticals, um, petrol as well. That was started because of the invasion of Ukraine. But when ScoMo was Prime Minister, petrol was at a nice, cheap, better price for us. But it's important that we keep supporting our small businesses. We keep supporting our TSG tobacconists out there, our franchise tobacconists. It's just much better to keep supporting TSG tobacconists than a corporation. So keep them going in business during this time, especially small businesses too. Keep them, because the corporations, when you see it in person, you see how much control they have, how woke. Woolworths is actually more woke than Coles now, especially with this Australia Day drama going on all over the media on X, because I was on X. I will always support Australia Day because it's our tradition. But, for Anthony Albanese not to have Australian flags for the Australians of the Year, I mean, come on, how slack can you get? And Cricket Australia as well. I mean, for them to, in the NRL, to be getting involved in politics, you wonder why the crowds at the Gabba, it was virtually no one was there. Now, the West Indies actually beat the Australians, and what a win it was for the West Indies to, beat Australia. How long has it been? 27 years since they last beat them. But my God, they put up a good fight, even in I think it was the first test. They showed they want it and they're hungry, and that's what makes up a good cricket team. Now, the Australians are the world number one. Very good side, the Australian cricket team. They're hard to beat for anyone. But for West Indies, I look forward to them. Yeah, one day they'll be the number one in cricket, because you got to understand, the Australian cricket team, they got players in their mid-30s, and it's getting hard. They're not going to be there forever. Steve Smith, he put on a good innings as well with his batting in the second. But I think Pat Cummins' decision to declare too early, it was a bit of it was just a gamble. I reckon he should have just kept on scoring, pushed at least a 400, even a 500 lead, run chase, because that early declaration, it proved not a good strategy, because the West Indies attack, actually, was incredible how they attacked the Australians with their bowling. I mean, I think as a captain, if you're trying to declare too early just to win, it's too much of a gamble. You're seeing Test cricket. If you have a very high lead run chase of say 400, 500, if you can push it up to 600, you're well on your way to win. Um, but I cannot like trying to bowl them out in 4 days didn't work. It was good to see that it was a day-night test match as well. I think we need more day-night test cricket because there was a reason they brought it in, the pink ball, um, to stop the bad light issue. Um, it's just great for the game to see day-nighters being played, and I think we need to see more of it. Even in the traditional game, the traditional red ball, but I've said it before. If there's a bad light issue, they can just switch their red cherry to a pink, and then keep the game going for the rest of the afternoon. Even if they got a bowl spin, yeah, that's how it is. Um, but that's cricket as well. As you know, Vince McMahon has resigned from the WWE because of these allegations: sex trafficking, sexual abuse. He's resigned from all roles. I did a podcast about Vince McMahon that will be available. I may do a part 2 about it because I was a huge wrestling fan as a kid, um, where I sort of go into more detail about Vince McMahon. But as you know, WWE's product now is shit. It's just crap. It's only better because Randy Orton's there, but that's it. AJ Styles as well, but I, I could see why All Elite Wrestling will take over because it's just so much better. Um, yeah. There's been problems too with visas for the NRL players for the first round in Las Vegas this year. Now, Kevin Rudd is the US ambassador. Now, Kevin Rudd should be helping our NRL players who are struggling for a visa get into the country and play footy. Um, Again, this is political football that Rudd's playing because being the US ambassador, well, isn't that a good thing that they're introducing rugby league overseas to the United States? And who knows, they may even bring an NFL game here. I'd go and watch. I'm not a fan of NFL. I tried to get into it, but it's very stop start. Um, Too much advertising as well. But no, look, I think these players should be given a visa to get into the United States and to go and play some footy over there. So that's what's going on. Whenever it gets political for our game, and it just it becomes a shit fight because it's to do with the government too, and anything with a government is a shit fight in general. So that's how it goes. I mean, I I think that the game of footy needs to be expanded throughout the world because that is Yeah, that is something positive and it's something great for a change. But I just think the NRL just need to stop with the political PC culture and just concentrate on the footy like they used to. Because as soon as you get an all PC culture, then it's just going to mess things up and people stop watching. Like Cricket Australia pissing people off. I mean, you just can't be doing that. People stop buying tickets. It was a Chinese destroyer that injured two Australian Navy divers. Apparently, it injured two Australian Navy divers. Albo knew about it but wouldn't recognise it. I mean, I'm a Patriot supporter, and the questions have arose: is the Australian Defence Force weak? Would be my question to the Australian uh, defence and the Australian population. Um, Again, I tried to join the Defence Force when I was 18 years old. I actually tried to sign up for a music job, but then doing the aptitude, I failed. But I look back now and I say I give my gratitude that I didn't go. You know why? Because sadly, people who join they come out worse off, and the defence know that they've known that for years and years. And you fight for the government, but what do you get out of it? I used to be a volunteer firefighter as well, but I did my, I think, 2 year service, and that was enough. And you look back, you're pretty much risking your life, and what do you get out of it? Nothing. Although the RFS, it is actually, it is a government department now. Even we have volunteers, but I felt 2 years I did my time, and that was it for me. But yeah, that's are people doubting the Australian Defence Force. There were problems with the Apache helicopters that had a bad record of mechanical failures, but this is Australia for us. And it's like Cricket Australia. Should they be ashamed and just apologise to people that, hey, we fucked up? Even the NRL as well, NFL. You see, you should watch South Park, because South Park are very good at predicting the future at times, and with sarcastable, um, yeah, concussion protocols now. I mean, I think, like, for instance, NRL, have they gotten too strict with the whole HIA rules, and the NFL as well? Cricket, I know they do a helmet check, but they're not they're not as strict in concussion in cricket, but still, it's good for the physio to come out and have a look at you and check your helmet. Even at times they take you off and bring you back on to rest. The problem too is in cricket, especially, batsmen's getting hit in the helmet. Now, Ian Chappell would always tell you, don't take your eye off the ball. Richie Bernard as well, Don Bradman. Now, in those days, they never wore a helmet in Bradman's time, so they were taught, don't take your eye off the ball. If you're going to duck into it, like Chanderball ducked into Brett Lee's bouncer, you can look that up. That knocked him out, and he was still playing. Now, he should have been taken off the field. He ducked into it, and that's what happens. You just cannot be relying on your helmet. You got to watch the ball and duck. If you don't want to hook it or create a pull shot, then duck it, leave it, but don't take your eye off the ball. I think too, like, even I'm talking from professional cricketers too, they get lazy, and that's what happens. You're going to get hit in the head. So, I mean, the game of cricket is the game of cricket. That's why we have helmets, and it's good that we have helmets. When someone's bowling at you 140, 150, 160 k's an hour, I mean, it's going to hurt if you get hit. But yeah, it all comes down to your basics. Just don't take your eye off the ball. Um, so that's how it was taught in the old days, Bradman's time, and then yeah, that's what we see from our professionals as well, breaking the rules. But it's the game of cricket. It's Test cricket. I know in one day international, one days they do allow some bounces, but they are strict. And then the 2020 they're more strict. You really don't see bounces in 2020 cricket. They're very strict in the 2020. Um, yeah, but we need more Test cricket being played. That's what I'd like to see. Day-nighters. The proposed flight path for the new Western Sydney airport at Badgerys Creek. The government's promising that it's going to bring jobs, but then the problem is the flight paths over people's houses. How are they going to work this out? Again, a lot of people who had houses in Badgerys Creek were bought out, and so they moved somewhere else. But there's certain flight paths at the airport that they can only fly um, in certain times. Is it going to disrupt the peace of the neighbourhood? Again, this was political football. The Badgerys Creek Airport. This was going on, God, before I was born in 1993, so this was going on, oh shit, since the 70s, 80s. You see, to build an airport, it takes a lot of planning out. They've got to build the foundations of it. I don't have an issue with it. The issue I have is the political football. When apparently Wilton wanted it, but yet the problem with Sydney Airport, it's too small and too overcrowded. Not only that, just to go to the airport, you got to tap like $15 to tap your Opal card on there. I mean, look, if you're travelling because it's a private company. The issues too is remaining that how's the government going to bring more public transport for Badgerys Creek? And make things better. I mean, Australia's always been behind on infrastructure. It's just been very slow to build roads. I mean, even the roads, I see that there's still potholes out there. You got to be careful driving out there too because of potholes, and they're very dangerous. I've seen them on a highway. I was driving down to Barrel when I was going to the Don Bradman Museum on a Saturday, and I think it was like 110 or 80 kilometer road. There was a huge pothole. You got to be careful, man. Like, they're dangerous. They're very dangerous. But this is our Australia for us today. You know, I've spoke about it before that I've got a Bachelor of Music. Australia needs to have a free education, free university, free TAFE, free bachelor's degree, because I believe all of us Australians are entitled to a free education degree in whatever field. Having an education, for me, a Bachelor of Music has been a blessing. I'm very thankful. I did my degree in clarinet. I studied classical. And at the time, it was, well, it's pointless for me to go do an engineering degree. I'd be getting very bored. I've tried business administration at TAFE Certificate 3, but I hated it because you're just doing spreadsheets and it's boring as fuck. It's not for me. And morning coffee and wisdom. But having a creative arts degree is a blessing, I think. Yeah, music is very good for your brain, very good for your education. It keeps you busy, keeps you off the street. Discipline as well. You show up to practice when you don't feel like practicing. Many doubted me because of my what I was diagnosed with, how I was going to go. Yeah, I had gaps and holes in my knowledge, but I overcome that, because where there is the will, there is the way, and it's what I wanted, and I'm proud of what I achieved as well. I'm very proud of myself. I'm proud that when you get a bachelor's degree, you get respect, and I respect myself, and I've had to learn that in my journey is to just have gratitude for my accomplishments, and that's something that I have gratitude for, is a Bachelor of Music, and I'm proud of myself, that. Um, when you celebrate those things that you've achieved in your life, you start to feel better about yourself, and I'm proud. Um, Music, I guess, if I'm not creating, I get bored, I get agitated. I mean, I'm creating a podcast. I love this show. But it was just nice to get an acoustic guitar. I recorded some, stock music samples, and I'll keep doing that. It just helps me just forget about the world and what's going on too in the world in 2024. But this is how we live as Australians. Alright, the weather right now is 20.4 degrees Celsius, feels like 22.3 degrees Celsius, minimum of 19 degrees Celsius, top of 30 degrees, no rain, partly cloudy. West, southwesterly, 4 kilometres an hour wind, 4 kilometres an hour gust, 84% humidity, 0.6 millimetres of rain since 9 a.m. yesterday. Rain, 80%, high chance of no rain. Sydney, Australia today, cloudy, light winds becoming east to northeasterly, 15 to 20 kilometres an hour in the late afternoon, then becoming light in the evening, moderate fire danger rating. 6:18 a.m. sunrise, 8:04 p.m. sunset. Warning gibbous moon phase. Last quarter was the 3rd of February is the next moon phase. 12 extreme max UV index. 9 a.m. to 5:10 p.m. sun protection recommended. Tomorrow, sunny with showers, low of 19 degrees Celsius, top of 30 degrees Celsius, 0 to 1 millimetres of rain. Saturday, sunny with showers, low of 19 degrees Celsius, top of 28 degrees Celsius, 0 to 1 millimetres of rain. Sunday, sunny, partly cloudy, low of 18 degrees Celsius, top of 37 degrees Celsius, no rain. Monday, sunny with showers, low of 23 degrees Celsius, top of 36 degrees Celsius, 0 to 3 millimeters of rain. Tuesday, sunny with showers, low of 20 degrees Celsius, top of 29 degrees Celsius, 0 to 5 millimeters of rain. Wednesday, sunny with showers, low of 20 degrees Celsius, top of 26 degrees Celsius, 0 to 4 millimeters of rain. I think it's going to be a hot one for the cricket on Sunday. I'll definitely talk about that more on the show. Sad news with Alan Border, an Australian cricket legend. He's suffering from Parkinson's disease, which is a neurological disorder. Alan Border was the captain of the Australian cricket team, and he captained the team when Shane Warne debuted. Was captain at the time. Very good batsman, left-handed batsman, and very knowledgeable of the game. He's commentating on Fox Cricket. I wish Alan Border all the best, and hopefully he overcomes this Parkinson's disease, and it's good to see him commentating the cricket where he belongs. I hope he can recover and improve as well, because I have things, but we can overcome them as well, and I wish to his success on his recovery. There's a problem going on in Queensland as well. Stephen Miles, the Queensland Premier, who took over from Anastasia Palaszczuk, should he knock down and rebuild the Gabba? Apparently there's a 60-day review of the Gabba, the Queensland, cricket ground. Problem with this, I think it's just going to be a mess, and I don't know if they're going to knock it down or not. But yeah, it's one of those issues where we've got to ask, is it worth it as well? For me, I don't know. It's, again, when you bring the politics involved to build a stadium, it just gets so complicated. I know at Belmore, the council won't let the Bulldogs build another grandstand because I've said it before, the problem with Belmore Oval, it's too overcrowded. It's too hard to get there by car. You got to get there by public transport, and there's not enough shade around there, especially on a hot day. So that's the problem that we have. So wait and see after 60 days. The NRL players who were struggling for the visas in Las Vegas, and I've said it earlier, Kevin Rudd's not helping. Reece Walsh, Latrell Mitchell and Jack White. Now, as you know, Latrell Mitchell and Jack White were falsely charged in Canberra from the police. And how could this happen? They were not guilty. They're not criminals. So why is Kevin Rudd not helping? Kevin Rudd was the former Prime Minister of Australia. He made a bunch of false promises and pissed off overseas half the time in the global financial crisis in 2008. He should be helping. Why not? And look, we'll have to wait and see how this goes. But again, this is the visa. This is because they're entering into the United States. It's a government thing, and I hope it gets sorted out. And I'd like to see them play. Yeah, but that's it. But no, it's always great to podcast here. I really love this show. I have gratitude for the Stephen Shields radio show as well. And the more people that you tell about the podcast, the more listeners I can get in in keeping free speech, supporting free speech, because I believe in freedom of speech. But I don't accept hate speech or bullying. That's not on. This has been a great journey for me. I'll keep doing this show for as long as I can. This has been a wonderful contribution for my life as well. The podcast, the content creation, the stock music, YouTube as well. But it is hard as a one-man team. Pretty much I do it all by myself. Yeah, and if you subscribe to the podcast, it helps the show grow. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'm also on Rumble, Odyssey, and Utreon. You can follow me on Truth Social, Getter, Gab Social, X, Instagram. I'm on Facebook, but I'm not happy with Facebook. I'm mostly on Instagram as well, so you can check that out. Yeah, and also too here on Wisdom. I love Wisdom, and if there's any listeners listening who'd like to be on the podcast, feel free to join in on the conversation. It's always great with social audio to talk to the big wide world out there. But it's just learning to appreciate what you already have and be happy with what you have already, and that's one thing that we've got to be thankful for, is what we already have as well, and practicing that gratitude. But I'll leave it there, guys. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.